Hello everyone, my name is Wanda Lee. I'm a married mom of 3 and I appreciate you joining me for Family Friday. My husband and I have some pretty ambitious long-term savings goals, but we also have a family business and 3 girls that we have to manage on a day-to-day basis. And so that's what we like to reserve Fridays for, the business and our kids. And so if this is something that interests you, I'd love for you to hit the like button and subscribe so that you can follow along. Today, we are actually just going to focus on the kids' binder. And and I just want to say, I love my family, very grateful, but managing finances for ourselves and these kids is a struggle, honestly. And I know a lot of people have much bigger families that they're managing the budget for, and I just want to pay you all your respect because I don't know how you do it. But there are, it gets tough. So anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so we have $75 to work with today. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. And normally I will stuff most of the envelopes in the kids' binder and then just do a couple savings challenges, but I'm feeling like I need a pick-me-up today. So I'm gonna see if we can just do savings challenges, and I can always add them to the envelope later. I'm gonna take a minute and get out some challenges for us to do. Alright, so we got our challenges, but while we have the binder open, I'm just going to go ahead and swing over to hair because hair always gets stuffed. With 3 girls, I need to make sure that their hair looks good. And when I say that, I don't mean they need some kind of fancy, lavish hairstyles, but I do want to make sure that their hair is healthy. And the reality is that most of the products that are good for you are more expensive. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and add this 5. And we now have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 1, 5, and 10. So we have 110, and we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 5, and oops, this heart makes 10. Alright, so we are good there. With hair, I do find that it's easier. I have had, in previous videos for Family Friday, I've had the binder oriented this way because that's the direction of the labels, and I've struggled to put them in the side, and today I was like, let me just go ahead and try it vertically since that's how the actual envelopes are oriented. Much easier so far, so that's probably how I'm going to do this binder moving forward. Alright, so we only have 10s left, right? I'm going to move this over for now. We only have 10s left, and I want this to last a little bit. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is pull out a different binder, the couples binder, and see if I can steal some 5s. So please hold. All right, so thanks for bearing with me. That was actually quite successful, and it probably works out for the better because I needed to condense those that binder anyway. So let's see, we should have 75, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, and 70. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and mix these adorable ones from Sin on a Budget in with the one that I made. This is my arcade date challenge, designed with couples in mind to channel their inner child, but obviously it can work for family as well. So that's the beauty of it. Gonna get my little die, I guess, and I think we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, so what I'll do is if I roll an odd number, it gets 1 bill. If I roll an even number, it gets 2 bills. So, and it will go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's get it started. So, I don't know about you other parents, but whoopsie. I mean, that was a 5, but I'll re-roll it because I wanted to stay in there. It's hard out. It's really hard to budget when you have to get 2 of everything. We have 3 kids, but we also have twins. So it's one thing to have to go to the store and buy clothes, right? It's another thing to have to buy 2 of everything that you see. All right, this is the last one, so just gonna go ahead and put it there. And my mom and I, for example, went to the store yesterday and we were looking for some shoes for the twins. And one set of shoes, first of all, they're still tiny. They're like 12 months old, right? So they're a year and 2 months. But their feet are still pretty small because they were preemies. So it's like we have to buy tiny shoes. But it doesn't seem to matter to manufacturers that you're using less materials, right? You would think that would make the shoe cheaper. It doesn't. And I mean, we know that from adult life as well, like people who wear size 6 shoes and people who wear size 10 shoes have to pay the same price for the shoes. And I know that I would be mad. I wear a size 8.5. I know that I would be mad if I had to pay $5 more and someone who's a size 6 shoe had to pay, $5 less. That is true. I'm gonna just be real about that. But at the same time, I'm just like, bro, why does one pair of little tiny little baby shoes cost $20, And I'm not shopping name brand direct. I have no problem hitting up Ross, Marshalls, etc. I care about having nice things at reasonable prices. And when I say nice things, I mean quality things that will last a long time. It doesn't have to be a name brand. As long as it's quality, it's made well. Whoops. That's all that matters to me. So it's like $20 for a tiny little pair of shoes that they're probably only gonna fit for maybe a couple months. But now you have to buy 2 sets. Like you have to buy 2 pairs. So now it's $40. And I'm just like, why? Why? But anyway, that's the life we live. And don't let me get into medical bills because they have no sympathy on you. You would think that an ultrasound, because you're in the room for the same amount of time, that they would charge you one price. They do not. They charge you per head. You had 2 babies in there, so we're gonna charge you double. And they want to say, oh, it's because we're doing the double the work. to check. And I'm like, but they're right next to each other. It's the same picture. You're not taking separate photos. You know what I'm saying? When they get bigger, maybe you're taking separate photos as you measure their head sizes, etc. Make sure they're growing and developing well. That's later on into the second, third trimester. But probably more to the third trimester. But that first trimester, you're gonna really tell me you're doing double the work, friends? Come on now. But you're gonna get you how they get you with those medical expenses. Anyway, let's get back to the happy stuff. All right, we'll be jumping around because these are in a random order, but for birthday, we had been stuffing 10. Oh, we could still do it because we have an even number, so that works out. I was going to say we'll just put 1/ for a 5 instead of 2, but since we have 20, we can just do 2 full X's. Each one represents 10, so we've got 1 and 2 that we're adding here. And we are not in birthday. Da 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 da. All right. So birthday now has 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 70. And this is great because again, we just passed the twins' birthday. So the next birthday is our oldest daughter, and we have time. She's later in the year, so we have time. So that's good. What's next? We got this adorable autumn one, which is for clothing. And that, I think, is closer to the front and very on point for what I was just complaining about, right? And then sometimes even when you find a good deal on clothes, you're like, oh wow, this is cute. It's a 3-piece outfit. It's only $10 or $11. And so you're like, oh, let me get 2 or 3 of these for the one kid. But then you got 2. So now that $11, that $10-11 ends up being $60 because you were trying to buy 3 3-piece sets, in different styles. It's just too much. So yeah, here we are. Oh yeah, we have 20. Losing my train of thought. Complaining too much. Need to sit down. Everybody's got these problems. Not everybody's got kids, but most people with kids have some similar gripes. I guess that's the beauty though, because you're not alone. But yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 70, and 90. Oh, that's nice. I didn't realize we had that much in clothes. That's a beautiful thing. That will help me out a lot actually, because I need to get them some shoes that fit. Oh yeah, so fun is what this one's gonna be. I know we don't often stuff fun, but I'm happy we get to do it this time. These are $2 denominations, but luckily we have an even number, so we should be able to work it out. We have 5, 10, 15, and 20 going in here. So 4, 8, what? Just kidding. That's 8, 16, 18, 20. I took our oldest daughter to the arcade. I don't remember the last time, but I know I took her to the arcade. And when I tell you this girl had so much fun, we were playing like one round of every game in there, just so we could like spread our money out. But she had so much fun, and so I was like, you know what? Well, let me use this arcade date and put some money in here to take her back to the arcade. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35. And again, the number discrepancy is because I didn't start this at an empty, so that's fine. And last but not least, this will be sports, I think. It should be right here. And we only got 10, but that's good because I can cross off one. So now we have 5, 10, 30, 50, 70. This is great. This is really good because sports are expensive. I know our oldest is talking about she wants to do gymnastics, I think because her cousin is doing gymnastics. I gotta be honest, doing gymnastics terrifies me. I'm just so worried that, you know, your kid will fall and break something, and I'm just like, can we do a lower risk activity? Which I know it sounds ridiculous because I also want them to do self-defense so that they are equipped to protect themselves. They're gonna get knocked around in self-defense. So my logic doesn't make sense, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, cool. You know, one more thing though, next time I'm gonna have to make sure that I stuff food and diapers. We don't need it right now, but I know, like, because we just did a stockpile, but I know we're gonna need to get some next week. And I also want to mention that my family, we have not been on our handover passes. We have not been doing well with our handovers lately, I want to say, and I'm referring to our twins. My husband and I work full-time, and so my mom will come over and help out with the twins when we have, you know, a conflict, like when we have overlap with our work schedules, which is a blessing. But we are constantly asking each other, like, when's the last time they ate? Do they need a nap? You know what I'm saying? And early on, for the first 9 months, we had this like flawless system, and that was honestly because we were using a care log. When I was in the hospital after I first had the twins, my aunt gifted me like a care log that she had found, and I really liked it, but there were a few things I thought were missing, so I actually created my own, and we were using that one. I have it here actually. Yeah, so I created a twins care log, and it tracks a lot of the normal stuff you see in care logs, the feedings, the diaperings, the sleep schedule, etc. But what I did a little bit differently is I did give options for if you're breastfeeding or you're feeding formula, you can select which one. I also put a slot in for medication because one of our twins was in the NICU, and the other one had like acid reflux, which I didn't even know babies could get. So she was prescribed some medicine, and so it was very helpful for me to be able to mark off when I gave her that medicine and keep track of it. Obviously, because this one is for twins, the same thing on both sides, the slot, we could select the day, and it was just really helpful. And I also created it with this cute little, these cute dividers. So every 30 days, there is a section like this where you can put you know, your first twin, right? Their weight, their height at their check-in, how old are they now, and then the same thing for the second twin. And then also here you can put any photos or activities or notes, you know, that you noticed over the past 30 days. And it's just cute. And we did use it, as I said, for the first 9 months. Like for the first 9 months, this is the one of the ones we actually used. It was so much easier when we were using it because we would literally just hand the next person the book and be like, all right, here you go, you know, and they could open the book and be like, got it. She ate at this time. Oh, she's upset because she needs a nap. Oh, she hasn't pooped in like 12 hours. What's the problem? Too much information, I know. But it was really helpful. And it was also helpful for when we went to the doctor for checkups, because we could easily open the book and be like, hey, this is where we're at. Like, this is what we've noticed, that kind of thing. And though we did have twins, I also went ahead and created one for single babies. And so it's the same thing, except they have that fun activity, milestones, etc. on each page, since they don't have to share it with their twin. But they still also have the monthly, check-in where you can put a photo, etc. So yeah, I originally created it for us, for our family, but then I don't remember. I think it was my mom who was like, oh, you should put it out there because other people might want it as well. And so I do have it on Amazon. I can put the link in the description if anyone else is either struggling with twins and trying to get their handover system right, or even if you just have the one baby and there may be more than one person watching your baby, or it could be just you, but you just want to be very mindful and track everything that's going on, because that's super helpful for the doctor's appointment. So I'll put those links in there in case anyone's interested, but I'm definitely thinking we're gonna go ahead and break out another one and get back on it, because I'm really tired of us asking each other, when did they last eat? So yeah, anyway, that's all for today. I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Please, please, please do like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already and you'd like to follow along, it will really help our channel grow. I'm really trying to get to 100. Right now I only have, I think 36, which I'm super grateful for, but I'd love to have 100 subscribers. And so if you guys could help me reach that goal, that would be amazing. Anywho, enough talking. This video was long. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.